Hi, folks. My name is Dr. Amy Pearlman. I'm a board certified urologist with expertise in sexual, hormonal, and genitourinary health. And if you are wondering if you are paying too much for your erectile dysfunction medications, this video is definitely for you. One of my favorite things to do when I'm sitting down with my patients is to go through the medications that they're on, specifically related to sexual health, and to figure out if I can get them the medications for a cheaper rate. So let's talk about two companies that are really good companies that I use quite often with my patients. One is called GoodRx. I've been using GoodRx for years. It completely revolutionized my practice a few years ago when I learned about it. Because prior to that, I was sending a lot of these medications like Viagra or Cialis to compounding pharmacies that would offer sort of different formulations. And I liked it because not necessarily because I thought the formulations were better, but because they had better prices than some of the local pharmacies. And then I heard about GoodRx and wow. So in terms of GoodRx, it allows me to send medications like generic Viagra and Cialis to local pharmacies, which is really convenient for patients. I will oftentimes send these medications to pharmacies like Walgreens, CVS, Publix is the big grocery store in my area in South Florida. And so those pharmacies, when I'm writing a prescription for, let's say, a Cialis, which is tadalafil, the generic is tadalafil, if I'm going to write for, let's say, 90 pills of that low dose tadalafil, which is 5 mg, it ends up being about $35 from several of those pharmacies that I named. And that's the cash price. So I tell, pretty much all my patients, I don't recommend running through insurance, although you can. And if your insurance coverage, covers it, amazing. We always want to save you as much money as possible. But if they don't, or let's say you want to fill a prescription for both Viagra and Cialis, and they're only going to fill one, simply do the following. When you go to the pharmacy, go ahead and tell the pharmacist that you do not want to run your medication through insurance and you want to use your GoodRx card or coupon. In my office, I actually give my patients a GoodRx card to make it as easy as possible, but you can also go online to goodrx.com. You can search your medication, your dosage, how many pills your prescription was written for, and you can either just show that puppy to the pharmacist on your phone, or you can print it out and bring it with you to the pharmacy. Now, the pharmacist will not know that you don't want to run it through insurance, as their default is to run your medication through insurance. So I'd always recommend that you ask for the GoodRx price if the price is more than you want to pay running it through insurance. And sometimes the insurance rate is higher than the cash rate. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. The pharmacist will typically not bring up the option for GoodRx, so you'll have to bring that up. Now, sometimes what I've seen with some of my patients is that they'll go to the pharmacy, the pharmacist already ran the prescription through the insurance, and let's say insurance only covers 6 pills, and then the patient is told they don't owe anything, so they go home and they're happy because they got their medication at no cost and they have their little goodie bag of medication, only to realize when they get home they were only given 6 pills. So make sure when you are at the pharmacy that they give you the number of pills that was written on the prescription. I'm typically writing for like 90 pills to get my patients 3 months at a time. Now, you do need a prescription to use GoodRx. So your healthcare provider will need to send that prescription to the pharmacy, and then you would, pull up the GoodRx coupon or get your card and bring that to the pharmacy. So that's really important. Oftentimes in medicine too, healthcare providers may not know what the different prices are for medications that they commonly prescribe. Honestly, I didn't know this until a couple of years ago. I would have patients come in, they would ask me, Dr. Pearlman, where do you recommend I fill this antibiotic? And I naively said, oh, wherever you want, it doesn't matter. You can go to your local CVS or Walgreens, wherever. I didn't realize that some pharmacies will really jack up the price of certain medications, and they're not going to tell you that their price is more expensive than the pharmacy around the corner. So I would recommend, if you do anything after watching this video, after this video, go ahead and go on goodrx.com. You can search whatever generic medications you typically take and go ahead and just type in your zip code and look at the different rates for the GoodRx prices for your local pharmacies. The other thing to keep in mind with GoodRx is they contract with the larger retail pharmacies in your area. So when my patients go to more of the sort of local neighborhood pharmacies, they typically don't accept the GoodRx card. With that being said, some pharmacies have their own built-in coupons. So if you're at a place like Walgreens or CVS or, even your neighborhood pharmacy, you can ask them, do you have any built-in coupon codes for this medication? So that's GoodRx. I would say I use that service the majority of time with my patients, and everyone who's leaving my office with a Viagra Cialis prescription gets a GoodRx card. But there is a new player in town, and that's Mark Cuban's pharmacy, and that's Cost Plus Drugs. So similar to GoodRx, you do need your healthcare provider to send a prescription to Cost Plus Drugs, which I could easily do using my electronic record system. And so you can just look on, you can even search. If you do a second thing after watching this video, you can go look up the Cost Plus Drugs website, and you can search the medication and you can see what their price is. And I was just looking a couple of minutes ago, and the price for 90 pills of low dose tadalafil was, I don't know, like $10 or something. So that's actually the best rate that I've seen so far. So I might be using Cost Plus Drugs more for my patients. So you can see with those two examples, and there are some others, that you can actually get medications like Viagra and Cialis for a very low cost. A lot of people don't know this, and a lot of people are using some of these other online pharmacies, thinking that they have the best prices. And oftentimes your local retail pharmacy using a GoodRx, coupon, or using pharmacy like Cost Plus Drugs could be your best bet. So thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel to learn some of these tips and tricks for getting medications and therapies for cost-effective prices, and how to optimize their use and comfort.